everybody, it's Michelle again, and I'm in the craft room today doing some beading projects. You may have seen some of my videos where I like to make little bead charms that look like other objects. I found a couple of beads that pretty much speak for themselves as to what they want to be, and you all tell me what you think. I found these two beads in my stash with the patterns inside. So I said I have got to make those into Ladybug and Honeybee charms. I thought also to go along with that I would make a daisy charm. The Ladybug bead is a 9mm round bead, and for the head I'm going to be using a black 5 by 6mm rondelle bead. The Honeybee bead is also a 9mm round bead and a 5 by 6mm rondelle for the head on that as well. And we're going to need a stinger on the bee, so that is a 4mm black bicone. And for the daisy I'm going to be using 6mm beads. I have 6 white pearls and 1 round yellow glass bead. Those are all 6mm in size. For that I also have some green chain that I bought in bulk at Walmart that we'll be using for a stem on that, and some of my green wire. This is the 18 gauge. The only thing I'm going to be doing with that today is just make a little jump ring to connect that green chain as a stem for our daisy. And we'll need 3 2-inch head pins, and I've got 3 jump rings, silver jump rings there as well. They're kind of hard to see on that background. I'm going to have to find something else to use as a background for my beading projects. Things are not showing up real well. Okay, so let's do the Ladybug first. That's probably going to be the simplest one. That consists of nothing more than just placing on our spotted Ladybug bead and then our rondelle for the Ladybug head. And then we're just going to bend that over, cut it down to about 1/4 inch. Probably could have used a 1-inch head pin for this if you wanted to. It's very small. And then I'm just going to take the tip of that and curl it into a loop. And then we'll attach our jump ring to that. Get one of our jump rings. Open that up. Put on our little Ladybug. And that is absolutely all there is to it. And just as simple as that, you've got a Ladybug charm. I love finding cute little beads like this. That just told me that it absolutely had to be a Ladybug. So I'm doing my part to make its dreams come true. Okay, now we're going to do our Honeybee. One of the things that I forgot to mention is we'll need some wire for that one too. I've got this multi-pack here. Small spools of all different colors in the 24 gauge that I got at Walmart. Let's see, we're going to use one or the other of these coppers. I think we'll go with the lighter of the copper. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to about the center of that. I'm going to come down to the very tip and wrap those in opposite directions. just around that tip. And what that's done is given us a loop that we can then string onto our head pin. Okay, so just do that at the narrowest point, and then hold that in an upright position, like in the direction that our head pin will be running. And we try to imagine wings. And I think maybe I'm going to come in to the fattest part down here, right next to my head pin loop that I made. And I'm going to wrap around that fattest part. And then I'm going to come to the other side of my head pin loop at the fat part again of my round nose pliers, and do the same thing. Fold it all the way down. I should have folded this one all the way down. So there we go. Yeah. It kind of looks like we made a bow. So now, while those two tails cross that center circle, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hold that again, that center circle. And I'm going to wrap those around one more time in that head pin loop. Okay? Okay, now I'm just going to come in here, cut off those tails, and then you can just come back in and make sure that you fold those tails down tight to where that they won't interfere with anything. They won't stick out and poke. Okay, now, like I said, our pin is going to be running upright. So we're going to hold that way, and then come and get our wings, twist it. Okay, come to the other side, twist it. Now we've got those wings out there, but our loop for the head pin is still running upright. So that's going to look like our wings on our honeybee. Okay, just lay that aside. Okay, grab your head pin. And the first thing we're going to string on is our bicone for our stinger. And then goes our striped honeybee bead. And then our wings that we made. And our rondelle bead for the head. Okay, now we can kind of press those together to match those loops that we made all together. And there's our little honeybee. Okay, so again, we're just going to hold all that together and bend our head bend to the side. Get that off at about 1/4 inch. Make our loop. And attach a jump ring. Slide our little honeybee onto our jump ring. And there you have your honeybee. To make our daisy, we're going to be using beading wire in a 28 gauge, which is a really fine wire, but we're going to have to make a couple of passes through, so we need a fine wire that's going to fit through a couple of times. So I'm just going to cut off a few inches of that. Then I'm going to start at one end and start making a loop. I'm going to come about halfway up my round nose pliers and start rolling. Now I'm going to roll that around a few times. It's such fine wire. I want it to have enough body that it's got some strength. So there we've got about 4 loops around. That should give us a good strong loop. And then we're going to come to the other end and start stringing on our beads. First we're going to put 3 of our white pearls which is half. That's one side of our white. And then we're going to string on our center, which is our yellow bead. Okay? Then we're going to curl that around. We're going to take the end of our wire, come down to the bottom where we first started with our loop, and we're going to feed that wire back up through the white beads. But we're not going to go through the yellow bead again. Okay? And it's getting a little bit tangled on me. So if I can get that through that last white bead, I can get a hold of the tip of that with my pliers and help me pull it through. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to cut off some of that length. I don't need quite that much. That's going to cause me to get it tangled. Okay. Okay, we've put on our 3 white beads, then 1 yellow. Then we looped around to the bottom and came back up through the 3 white ones. Put a little curve on that so that those start to form a half circle around that yellow one in the center. Okay, now we just put on our other 3 white pearls. Wrap those around to complete the circle. Now we're back down at that bottom again where our loop is. And then we're going to go through those 3 again. Now that we've got that circle formed, you might have to go through these one at a time, pulling that wire snug each time. Now, that is complete, and we've got our loop that's going to be our top. Now, we could stop there, but since we're working with this really fine wire, I think I want to go around through all of those one more time just to make it a little bit stronger. The more passes we've got through there, the more strength we've got inside. So my wire kinked a little right there going into that bead. So try to be careful to keep that from happening. Okay. Try to pull it evenly. Okay. So now we've gone 2 passes through both sides. I'm just going to get my round nose pliers. I'm going to flip that around, stick those through the loop we made, and wrap that wire tightly a couple more times around. For that loop. Okay. And then just cut off the excess there. Okay. Now, just to secure it, I'm going to put my round nose pliers through there again, slide it all the way up, and then I'm going to twist about 3 times, I guess, on my daisy to really firm up that loop. Okay, there's your daisy. Now we can put our jump ring on top of that. Open that up. Slip our daisy on. Close it back. Okay, now we can start working on our stem. Okay, I'm going to take just a little bit of my 18 gauge wire in the green color. I can find the end of that there. And then I'm just going to make a little loop, roll it around my round nose pliers till I get a full circle. And I'm going to come in there and clip right where those meet. And that gives me a little green jump ring. Okay, lay that aside till we get ready for it. Now for the chain, that's just going to dangle down and be our stem on our flower. So I'm just going to cut a length of that about, I'm going to go with 3/4 of an inch or so. You can make that whatever length you want, however long you want your stem to be. Okay, just cut that off. And then I'm going to take my green jump ring that I made, squeeze it apart long enough where I can get my green jump ring in there. There we go, there we go. Now I'll put my green chain on that. And then just close up my jump ring. Okay. And there you have your little daisy charm. You could put another bead, maybe a green bead at the bottom of this to give it a little weight to hold that down. Let me see what I've got, and maybe we might do that. Okay, I think what we're going to do on that is attach a teardrop shaped bead in green to the bottom just to weight that chain down so that it'll hang straight like a stem. Okay, we're going to do that with a 1-inch head pin, and I've got another green jump ring here that I made out of the 18 gauge green wire. So we'll take our head pin, drop that teardrop bead on there, pointed side up, and then just give a little bend on that. Cut it down to about 1/4 inch. And then roll that into a loop. Okay. And now I'm going to open up our jump ring. Put our green bead on there, and then the bottom of our chain, and then close up our jump ring. Okay, now there you have your daisy charm with a green chain stem. Let me know if you all like this project. Give me some ideas of what else you would like to see. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a like over on my Facebook page, and follow me on Pinterest. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.